how can teams, organizations, and or coaches use this to their advantage?
Yeah, so I mean, I think the conversation we just had is kind of a natural lead-in. So I think really at its core, the way that we envision this is that this can kind of be used as sort of a tool for player evaluation that can kind of give the teams that are, I guess, sort of willing to take the jump and buy into this sort of a competitive edge in their roster construction. And, so like you said, kind of one of the things we do is we take these individual measures like WAR and we can sort of adapt them and modify them to take account of these chemistry effects. And so it's not just kind of looking at individual players and saying, okay, this player accounted for this many wins in terms of their chemistry or synergy contribution, but also just kind of trying to flesh out really like what the profile of these types of players look like if you're looking for chemistry. And I mean, I think, to really get at kind of how this hopefully will happen sooner rather than later, you just go back to kind of the original sort of Moneyball revolution, which was just an issue of you have this very kind of stable, established wisdom about how you evaluate talent. You've got some really simple statistics. You mainly are relying a lot on scouts and interviews. And all it really took was someone to come along and say, hey, if this all is wrong, then we can kind of get this leg up and not just get good players, but get them for cheap. Because, kind of the reality of a lot of this and a lot of kind of when teams take this step is just a reaction to these financial realities, especially small market teams looking for that edge. So, I mean, I think, jumping forward 20 years, the place we're at now is that those same kind of tricks that worked 20 years ago obviously aren't going to work now. You still have the stragglers who are sort of resistant to the analytics approach, but you can't just kind of use on-base percentage or whatever to get that leg up. You really need that next step. And then, that kind of goes back to what I said before, is that I do think even at the professional level, chemistry in a lot of ways is the catch-all for what we don't understand.